Hello everyone, welcome back for the Gonzales gang. We're here to give you guys another video. Now the title says our worst dates.
Worst.
We've been together a very long time, 12 years and a little bit, but, and we haven't had like bad dates.
Right.
Obviously we're together. It's not like, oh, that was a bad date. Like this is the end of it. But we have had interesting, they are bad dates. I know that I said they're not bad dates, but these were pretty.
I mean, they were, yeah. Let's just get into it.
Not relationship ending, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Right. Before we start, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We would love it. Leave us a comment. Also, post notifications. Yeah. Hit that bell, all right? So you're notified when we post.
Yes, and pause it and tell us your bad date in the comments before we get into it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because I want to know. I want to laugh. Should we start at the beginning?
Let's start at the beginning.
Very beginning.
Here we go, guys.
We touched on this in our How We Met video, but let's...
Yes, hold on. And if you haven't watched that one, I'm going to put a card in one of these corners and then you guys can watch that video. So
our first date wasn't really a date.
We got tricked into a date. It was a summer of love. It was a summer where we were all hanging out, going to the beach a lot. We were just kind of getting to know each other, but we weren't dating yet.
No.
But we were all supposed to go to the beach. Everybody canceled except us. So we just were at the beach by ourselves together.
It wasn't intentional. That's just what happened. At least I don't think it was intentional.
It just happened. So, you know, we were throwing the Frisbee around. She was reading her little magazine and the small talk was small.
Very small.
Not awkward, but it wasn't, we weren't like clicking. I think it was just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. But also, where is everybody?
Yeah. Like, I liked him for sure, but I went to the beach because I knew he was going to be there, but I didn't think it was just going to be the two of us. So
we were mentally prepared to like interact with one another one-on-one.
The whole time.
I was trying to flex my abs the whole time, and were they looking good?
They're looking good. We were in Newport, so we were just hanging out. I think this was probably like, what, hour 2 at this point?
Yeah, probably a couple hours in.
Yeah.
Couple hours in, having a great old time, you know.
Did we drive together? I can't remember.
We didn't.
Okay, so we
met like, there. We literally just met up there. We were texting and everybody's like, sorry, I can't make it, sorry, I can't make it. And it was just us.
But it's okay.
So we were there. Now you're probably wondering, that's so sweet. You guys are married now. You've been together like 12 years. This was the start. This was like your first date. Why was it the worst? Well, we're on the beach having a great time when all of a sudden there's some commotion. We see a lifeguard from this tower all the way over there start sprinting this way. We see a lifeguard from that tower start sprinting this way. There's
a gathering of people. I'm thinking it's like a shark.
Yeah, there's just commotion. We didn't go down. I mean, we were pretty close to the water, but we weren't like close enough. It was kind of like the sand was here and then it goes down a little bit into the water.
Yeah.
So we couldn't quite see what was happening, but we were pretty close. Everybody's just rushing to this one location, literally straight in front of us.
Yeah. Or standing, like
if they're looking
on our plane.
Yeah. Lifeguard truck pulls up right in front of us, opens the door, they run out. And we can hear on the radio what's happening. A man had drowned and washed up onto the shore right there. They didn't know he had drowned yet because he had just washed up. It was kind of evident apparently, but they were doing CPR on him. They were trying to get him, like revive him. We're hearing on the radio in the car because they parked right in front of us on the beach and left the door open and ran down there. They were saying like a middle-aged white male, unresponsive, and they must have been maybe for 5 to 7 minutes just pumping his chest, trying.
Until the fire or the ambulance showed up. Well, the fire truck and ambulance showed up.
I think what it was is he was dead because he had gone missing about 30 minutes prior, like a mile down, got caught in a riptide, drowned, got washed up, really sad. And I think they were just trying until paramedics came, took him, put the sheet over him. And it was, that's why it was one of the worst dates because it was just like, so you want to go home? Yeah. All right, let's go home. And we just left. So it was
interesting.
It was interesting. I mean, that's not something that generally happens. You don't see somebody die, you know, in person. And obviously it's a bummer because it's like really sad. But that was the start of our bad dates. It wasn't even an official date. So that was our first worst date, and it was because of a traumatic experience. We were sad, and it was just very traumatic.
It was just, yeah, it was a very, because we went in like confused into the day, and then we left like traumatized but still confused, and it was just like.
But it bonded us because we shared a traumatic experience.
Traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. So that was number 1.
Number 2.
Guys,
number 2 was actually a bad date.
I still have PTSD from this one.
we both.
I'm not gonna lie. Look at me. I'm getting irritated right now. I'm getting mad.
This was actually a bad date.
This was bad.
Like a real bad date.
This was bad. So we were in San Francisco for a wedding.
My cousin's wedding, yeah.
Cousin's wedding, beautiful time. Oh, yay, wedding. The weather was great, actually.
It was really
People said, wow, this is the best weather we've had all year.
Yeah.
So we were like, fantastic. It was sunny,
like
mid-70s, beautiful. We were like, yeah, we did all the touristy things. It was like, all right, this is a great trip.
So we went to Central Park in San Francisco. And it's a pretty big, it's like modeled after like Central Park in New York, right?
I don't know.
This was a really bad day. Yeah. We thought like, okay, so we're at the park, like they have these things called surreys that you can rent and like ride around the park. You know, like it's like the little 2 or 4 person carriage.
Kind of, yeah.
Like a 4-person bike, but not like a tandem bike. It's like the little...
It's like 2-2-2-2 or something like that. It's almost like a Flintstones car.
Yeah.
You know, that you pedal.
But you have to...
You gotta pedal. Like you have to pedal to make it move.
You have to pedal.
I don't know if you knew that, but to make it move, you have to pedal. So we start off. We have an hour. Otherwise, they're gonna charge us more.
And we didn't have like the money at the time to just be like, oh, let's just take, well, we thought an hour was gonna be enough. You have an hour to get around the park. Or
riding a bike is pretty easy.
And so we were like,
hour, no problem.
No.
Easy. This is gonna be so
romantic. On
romantic.
a bike? Like we can do this.
So romantic. Just me, my girlfriend, we're just, you know.
Exploring
the city. Just fantastic. Beautiful weather. I mean, just a great bicycle ride. What could go wrong? I'll tell you what went wrong. San Francisco has hills, crazy hills. And these pedals were this long. Have you ever ridden a tricycle?
It's like a legit adult tricycle.
It's really hard.
But the size of like a baby tricycle.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, to get up a hill, you know, it would be easier if you had like full-size pedals because you can do this. But instead we're like trying to get up these hills. Liesl just quit.
I didn't.
She stopped pedaling after a while.
I couldn't do it.
We're probably like 35 minutes in. I'm dripping sweat because I've been pedaling the whole time. She was so tired she couldn't pedal anymore.
I couldn't.
At one point I had to get out and push this thing up the hill. Push it up the hill while she's just sitting in there.
I'm not sitting like that.
Like a princess. Move faster.
We're full on fighting for like 30 minutes, realizing we're not even halfway through
because I'm like, literally, and I look over and she's not pedaling. I'm like, pedal! What are you doing? Pedal, help me! I can't do this anymore.
So bad.
It was so hard. My legs were on fire. I was drenched in sweat. I was in and out. I'm in and out of the thing, trying to push this thing up hills. It was heavy. You weren't helping me, but you were tired, and I get it. But at the time, I was so mad. Because I'm like,
I was mad because he was mad at me because he didn't understand.
You gave up on me.
I did.
I was like, you gave up on us.
I was literally like, I cannot do this.
Liesl gave up on us.
Oh man. I think the second hour was they charge more in the second hour than they do the first.
I don't know.
Whatever it wasn't worth it, and we were just like, I don't know.
And I mean, it's like, it's not like we could have just turned around and come back because the beginning of our ride was a lot of downhill.
Yeah.
So we were still gonna have to come back uphill anyway. It was rough. It was bad, it was trying, and it tested our relationship.
Basically, Central Park, the Surrey company, is out to steal your dollars. Like, you are not doing a leisurely stroll around the park. Anytime we see one now on TV or like in person, it's like instant bad.
That's not fun, that's not fun. They're gonna fight, I know, just give it 10 minutes, they're gonna fight, I know it. Don't do that, all right? Don't do a Surrey. A Surrey?
A Surrey.
Don't do that. If you wanna test the strength of the fabric of your relationship, go ahead and give it a try.
But
only the strong survive.
Easily,
oh
I would say. Also, San Francisco didn't have the greatest food, at least in our price point.
Yeah, I think if we were rich, we could probably go to some like fantastic restaurants, but
we did go to a fantastic pizza place in Sausalito. Or did I go with my sister?
No, yeah, you
went with
your
my sister.
Yeah.
But
we had some Mexican food in Sausalito. It was nice.
oh yeah,
It was kind of like upscale. If you go to Malibu, get Mexican food. It was kind of like that. It was nice.
Other than walking and doing like seeing some of the touristy sites, that day was just a mess.
It just didn't work.
And the rest of like the trip, we were so sore. I was so sore.
Yeah, how do you think I was? If you were sore, imagine me.
It was so bad.
And again, if you're walking around the city, you're walking up and down hills. So after that, it was just like, oh my gosh, we were so sore. We were so like upset.
Driving was sketch too, the hills, because you can't see over.
Yeah.
It was.
You drive up a hill and you're just looking at space. And you're like, I hope there's nobody crossing the street here. And you're like, sorry. No.
Basically, don't go to San Francisco unless your relationship is secure and established, because you might break up.
Yeah, just don't ride a Surrey.
Don't ride a Surrey.
But it's not a romantic date. I would like to try the ones in the water. That would be kind of fun, I think. Unless somebody has done that and you know that's frustrating to you. You let me know.
Let us know.
And for our third worst date of all time, it didn't start off bad.
No.
Like the other stories, it started off really nice. Lisa was pregnant with Zachariah. How many months? It was in May.
7.
Yeah, like 7 months pregnant.
We were on our baby moon.
We went on a baby moon. We got a free baby moon from the Ellen show.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thank you, Ellen. To a resort in Arizona. It was great. It was beautiful. We hung out by the pool.
We love road trips, so it was nice to drive and get away. We added an extra day to our stay.
Yep, it was great. It was fantastic. The last night of our stay, we were gonna go have a romantic dinner, and it was just gonna be like a great cap to the trip. And we were really looking forward to it.
So we spent the first part of the day by the pool.
Oh yeah, like the whole first half of the day.
Got some nachos.
By the pool, some refreshments, some nachos.
Virgin pina colada.
Oh, just so refreshing, all right?
Just feel nice. And I'd say probably around like noon or so, you started to feel a little queasy.
Yeah, it was just like a little off. I think I was a little off. So we figured we'll go back to the room, take a nap, shower, let the food digest so we can go out and have our dinner later that night. So we get back to the room.
You're uncomfortable.
I am very nauseous. I'm like, holy moly, I feel terrible right now. I need to either do something that way or do something this way. I didn't know which was which. I was feeling very nauseous, very uncomfortable. Took a shower. I'm like laying down and I'm just feeling absolutely horrible. And I'm like, bummer, babe, I don't know if I can go to dinner tonight.
Because we had made reservations, I think at like 6 or 7.
And there was some fancy thing that you wanted, some like caramelized bacon popcorn.
I was so excited for this bacon popcorn. So it's like 2, 3, 4. He's still like in pain. I'm just like munching on blue licorice.
Yep.
At this point, just because that was like one of my cravings was this blue licorice from Sprouts.
Yeah.
I'm munching. And then I start to not feel so great around like 5, 6 o'clock.
Meanwhile, I'm still thinking I'm gonna be fine by the time dinner comes, okay? But I keep getting progressively worse. And I'm feeling bad because I know you really want to go to this restaurant.
I did. And I'm like, oh, maybe we don't need to eat dinner. We can go. I think it was open till like 11.
Yeah. So we're like, we could push our reservation back if we don't, if we feel better later on.
So we pushed it back, I think till like 9:30. It was, it was around 6 at this time. And I start having really bad contractions.
Yes. I thought you were gonna go into labor. I thought you were in labor.
I thought I was in labor too.
She was like writhing in pain.
Like every 3 to 4 minutes.
For how many hours? 2 hours probably, right? Maybe it was an hour. I don't want to exaggerate.
No,
but
it was definitely.
It was around 2 hours.
2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was 9 o'clock and I'm still in pain and I'm just like 7 months pregnant, having these like intense contractions, just so bad, no relief.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is it. I'm in Arizona. My OB is in LA. I don't know what to do, but also like, does our insurance cover us down here if we have to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Our families aren't even here. Like, are they gonna make the 6-hour trip? I'm just thinking all these things. I'm like trying to measure my cervix. All the things like, can I feel the head? I don't know. And I couldn't feel anything. So I'm like, well, I don't think this is labor, but it feels like labor. I've never felt anything like this. And then I pass out. So I think at this point you're already feeling better, or maybe you just suppressed it. I'm
not feeling better, but I think you're in such pain that I'm like, whoa. I mean, by hour 2, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you dying? Are you dying? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to like call 911 or what? So,
I think I forced myself to go to sleep. for like an hour. I don't know how that happened. And then all of a sudden I like wake up. I don't even know if I actually like fell completely asleep, but
by this time, dinner's off the table. Dinner's off the table. So our date has now been being sick, being nauseous, having contractions in the room.
I get up and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. And I'm like, am I naked? I think I'm naked.
I think you were. Well, I think you had a robe on, but at this point you had like kicked it off because you're just like in so much pain.
I realized I don't have that much time, and I don't want to have to lose our deposit on the room, and I'm like sprinting, full on contraction, sprinting to the bathroom, projectile vomit. I don't even think, did I make it to the toilet? I made it to the toilet barely.
I'm laying in bed and she's next to me. All of a sudden she gets up and she runs into the bathroom, and as soon as she gets into the threshold, she's like, bah! It just vomits all over the wall, all over the toilet, everywhere, floor, everywhere.
And it's bright
blue projectile everywhere. It was disgusting.
It was so bad. And I'm still in pain, so I don't clean
I know. So she didn't clean it up. She just went back to bed and I cleaned it up. And because I was like, I can't let the maids clean this up. That's not cool. It's not like normal wear and tear in the bathroom. You vomited everywhere. And so I stayed up and I'm
projectile bright blue.
So we were supposed to have a romantic dinner, but I ended up cleaning up blue vomit all over the bathroom.
On our last day. We basically, I don't want to say we wasted our last day, but kind of.
Well, we didn't waste it. It just, that's how it went. So that was rough, but the trip was nice.
The trip was nice.
The trip was really nice. That wouldn't happen had we not added the second day. Or the third day.
That's true. It was his 30th birthday, so it was a baby moon / like 30th birthday.
Hey, you're not supposed to tell people how old I am.
They already know.
I'm just kidding. I'm young, 23.
23. It was his 23rd birthday.
There we go.
And we went down there, we booked a golf day.
Yeah, a round of golf. They had like a 9-hole course there, so a par 3 course.
I just sat in the golf cart. Watch.
Well, I played. She missed the best putt I've ever hit in my whole life.
Sorry.
This green was massive and slopey, and I just got onto it, and I was like, I'm not gonna make this putt anyway. Let me just, bam, and I just hit it, and it goes, it starts going toward the hole, and I'm running towards it. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it gonna go in? Is it gonna go in? Oh my god, goes in. Yeah, I'm running around the green. Oh! I look over, yeah, Lisa's look like this in the cart. With her feet up, and I'm like, you didn't see my greatest putt of all time.
I didn't see it.
That's okay.
But I was recording every putt prior to that, and then I was like, eh.
And they were all really bad. I was pretty new to golf at this point. The putting was rough, but that was my best putt ever. It was. Anyway, so there you have it. Our 3 worst dates of all time that we could think of. If more come up, we'll do a part 2. I hope there's no more. But let us know in the comments what your worst dates of all time were. And hopefully they're not recent. Hopefully they're in the past and you've gotten over it by now and you can laugh at yourself a little bit like we do.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys. We love you. Remember to like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. And is there one more thing to do? Share. Share the video. Hit the little share, text it to your friends, send it to your grandma. You know, everybody.
That's it.
And that's it.
Be blessed, don't stress, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!